Oh God.
Oh my God. Hello, welcome to Aural Hygiene. It's the podcast where you look at educational films, experimental caught films, and interesting documentaries. We've got our feet firmly back in Terra Educational today. This is Matt. Hello, Andrew Shearer.
Hi, hi, hi. Hey, why not a woman?
Yeah. Oh, you were just waiting for that because you were like wildly gesticulating for like 10 seconds before that.
Why me? Why not a woman?
Yeah, yeah.
Talk about why not a woman?
This was a relatively rando pick. You
Hmm?
know, I mean that's
Yeah,
how you get these. It's just like, okay, that looks like something. Let's do that.
sure. Yeah, but it was a great one to choose though, because not only, do I love anything that's feminist, even if it's, I guess this would have been second wave, but I also like anything with the old Pittsburgh accents, and this is full of them, a nice variety of Pittsburgh accents.
So can you tell us what this film is about in a Pittsburgh accent?
Uh, no, because it'll end up sounding like Canada. Uh,
Okay.
do it very, but I can say the only thing I can say in Pittsburgh is chip dip don't got no mayonnaise in it. But that's not it. Um,
Okay, that's good
so
enough.
this
I just need a little bit there.
okay. So this one is about women entering the workforce, and this was made in the early 70s, where people were actively trying to hire because of the women's movement, women into factory jobs and other like skilled labor jobs, and instead of doing clerical work and stuff that was stereotypical for women. And so the movie is really cool. It interviews some of the bosses of these companies, talking about their productivity versus the male workers. It interviews the women about their particular situation, why they are either join the workforce or their education or skill background. And it also has like people talking about oh God, there's like one boss that he keeps saying backhanded shit. He's the Ed Asner looking guy. But
Okay. I remember there's one guy with a glorious beard and another guy that looked like David Brent.
yeah. No, but this is, yeah, this is really neat, because you can imagine like they were showing this to guys that owned companies to convince them that yes, women can function at doing any sort of a job. And it's weird to think that now, even now, there's this idea that women can't be just as good or even better than a man at any job.
I am wondering exactly. I mean, we know who the audience was for this film, but how was this
Yeah,
film like presented to them? Did some dude with a film canister just stroll into the office? Hey, buddy, I got something for you to see. It's real important. See?
I would guess that someone was like, "Hey, buddy, look, they're gonna sue your ass off. You don't start. So here's a movie you can watch and figure it out." I mean, they're doing the equivalent of this now, with people, work company owners wanting to understand like gender neutral and transgender and things like that. But they still have like sensitivity training. They have diversity training. All that still like goes on. So that's today's equivalent of why not a woman, for sure.
Well, I was just talking to somebody about in Japan they had the NHK. Um, it was like a kind of like a news program that would come on after the short 6 o'clock news, and it's what was it called? Sekai no Award? No, that's a band. Excuse me. Anyway, I called it Mr. Ship because they had this puppet that was in a ship, and the bow of the prow of the ship like really looked like his cock, which was kind of weird. like he always has Tiffy, but they do they take whatever the week's news was, be it George Floyd or I mean they got that intense, and they'd have these animated segments, and they kept coming out as being horribly racist. There was one. So I noticed uh April's when they switch over shows and stuff in Japan, right? I was like, oh, Mr. Ships finally got taken out and shot, did he? The show's now off the air, but last year, I think it was after George Floyd, they did an animated thing about that, and they had to like send like NHK employees to like sensitive cultural sensitivity classes after that as part of the from the blowback.
Yeah, you're like, is it on YouTube? Can you watch this happen? Do you remember seeing it? I just wanted a kind of a
Oh,
description of what.
I saw on live television, like that's dinner time. We eat at 6, there's 10 minutes of news, and then Mr. Ship would come on, right? We're still sitting there eating dinner. So yeah, I saw
So,
that stuff. I saw all this stuff live thinking, is this okay? And
answer,
no, it wasn't. It was not
oh God.
okay.
So
I
did they
was
just like animate the news?
kind of, but in like this insane comic book style, and like everyone is like Mr. Ship, right? So it'd be like a big burly black guy, but with a Mr. Ship face, and you know, like Chinese women, like I mean, they probably freaking had a a animated thing about like comfort women. That's because they do like real news. They do like controversial stuff, and they do in this like insane animated style. And this was last year, so yeah. See, I'm recently. Oh, I see this stuff live on TV, so it never occurred to me to look on YouTube. But now that you bring it up, we might have to visit one of those soon. But anyway, the
They,
point being, people still need to see films like Why Not a Woman?
yeah, they do. And, especially because here in the United States and in other parts of the world too, culturally, things are kind of circling back to this idea of the replacement of masculinity, where, anyone else's rights means yours are taken away. So, they do kind of address that in the movie where they say, does this mean a woman's going to take your job, or there won't be enough jobs for men if women do this? Because, it's all based in fear of being replaced,
I
and
just
I think that they should be.
Yeah, I just
See,
noticed a lot of people in this film, male and female, kind of look like John Lennon.
yeah, isn't that or John Denver?
Okay, yeah, maybe Denver. Sunshine on my nutsack. Yeah.
You're right. Yeah, there was one that had just this magnificent fro, and she was working with the lathe, I think, and I was just sitting there thinking, ah, you know, there's they wouldn't want to come over and go, could you put on a hard hat, or they seem to be afraid to talk to that.
It'd be
Yeah, we
poopy.
let her go. We haven't talked to her very much. We just let her do what she wants. Matter of fact, she doesn't actually work. She just pushes this button. She thinks it does something, but it doesn't, because we're just afraid.
That would have been fun. Yeah, I wonder if I'm going to end up with a fro or not. With a white man's
Yep.
fro.
No, absolutely, man. I mean, it never goes out of style.
Right. Okay, so one of my first notes is, what factories are for semen? Just to mix some things up. There's that one woman who was becoming a carpenter, but I wrote, she'll never be a carpenter, not like Karen. Karen was a superstar.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah. No. I remember. Yeah, I remember that one because she was talking about having being an apprentice. But there were. It's interesting. I recently I recently read an article about women barbecue people, like workers that do that, and they're like, yeah, because of the fire and the meat. That's why men usually do barbecue, because of fire and meat.
Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah.
And they were in this, they addressed the fact that, it's dangerous machines. You could get hurt. Don't touch that, woman.
Well, don't touch that, anyone. I mean, we got Shake Hands with Danger too, right? those
Imagine
dudes
if
still get mangled.
yeah, imagine if if those people had done this video, how they would have treated it. Because this is more like a documentary about real people with real jobs and stuff like that. But imagine like if the Shake Hands with Danger people got a hold of it, they would like show it's like, because Bob didn't hire a woman, he lost most of his left hand in the lathe.
There we go. That would be a fantastic film.
Because Bob didn't hire a woman, he dremeled his own asshole.
Yeah, right on. I can do
He
that.
laminated his own beanbag.
Cool. I guess I'll just let you go on about that for a while, see where it takes us.
Oh, I'm sorry. We can move on. You know how it goes. Rule of three.
They had the one lady driving the bus, and I used to drive the UGA buses, University of Georgia buses, and I do remember often hitting that. There's a little dip near the stadium. You know that?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I'd hit that at top speed while flashing the lights and playing techno music for the late night buses. They
Yeah,
love that.
well, the bus part made me think back to school. All my bus drivers were women.
Oh, elementary school. Yeah. I think that's pretty much the case.
Yeah, junior high as well. I think it might have all been the same, the same women.
Yeah. Cloned multiplicity style.
No, my when I thought about when I was a kid is more like Johnny Cab. Like she didn't actually come out of the bus because she was only like she was built as part of the bus.
Yeah, I got in trouble for saying horrible things about my old bus drivers a few weeks ago, so I guess I should stop there.
Oh yeah, this is horrible. So much as just a revelation caused by why not a woman? Because I had literally hadn't thought about it since I was a kid.
So I
So
could be thinking too hard, but it's kind of, to me, it was a little bit weird that they were focusing so much on the factory jobs and things. I mean, they're not. I guess if you got a union, well, they paid better back in 1979 too, probably, because these jobs now it's like you gotta have like 3 jobs, so they don't look so appealing anymore.
yeah, no, a lot of them said the money was better, like men made more money, or the jobs that men were having. The man was often the breadwinner of the household because he had the better paying job, just as a result of being a man, things like that. So they talked about that there. But being a skilled tradesperson, I don't think is a lot of those have been replaced by machines.
Yeah. And then the companies themselves are like, well, we're not going to put you under an actual contract. We're just going to pay you, hourly. And then, I guess we're cutting back here and there and go piss off. No, you don't get paid when you're not working. Benefits. What's that word mean?
No pension, no nothing. No
Because I met
401.
I guess the 70s, actually the 70s is probably when it started to break down, right? But before that, like you could work in a factory and it could be, it doesn't seem like a very mentally satisfying career, but it would at least be a more stable one, I guess, back in the day.
Yeah, no, that was the thing. You got a job and then you just kept it until you were dead, you
Yeah.
know. And how soon you died was, I guess mostly equivalent of how hard the job was. I don't know.
I guess my point is when they made this film, like, just having a good solid job. But now I'm thinking, well, these jobs are going to be the exploitative jobs. You want that. Well, you want the office job with a contract, but now I'm sitting here thinking, well, you don't really get those either, do you?
No, I mean everybody I know that got one, it's not for very long. They're not for longer than like 1 or 2 years. You know.
One of the reasons I still work in the place I work is it's they still do contracts, they still have benefits in Japan, but for foreign workers it's often year to year. Whereas the place I work now, it's just like it's a normal Japanese contract, so we never have to discuss it again.
Cool. Oh, that's good.
Because I used to have a meeting about my contract every year, and that sucks.
Nerve-wracking that must have been. I'm sorry that happened. That would be too much.
I mean, it still had benefits, so that was nice. But yeah, having to re-sign every year just ate it, because they don't expect people to hang around for more than 1 or 2 years generally for a English teacher.
Did you ever see the Mike Judge movie Extract?
No, I didn't.
Okay, that's actually a great movie. It is about a factory that makes like food additives or something like that, or like vanilla extract, things like that. But they it's all about the union stuff and the injuries and the women that work there are like, it's really funny because the plot of it has to do with like a woman who is like kind of planted there on purpose to swindle the guy out of his money that runs the company. So she's like a grifter or whatever. But yeah, the women that work there is pretty great. I thought it was a good way of showing the dynamics of the factory and having it be men and women and sort of like, but of course the foreman is a guy and the people under him are women and things like that.
Right. Yeah, I guess I haven't. You said you worked in the air conditioning factory briefly, but I don't think I ever worked in a factory sort of situation or a big warehouse thing.
Yeah, no, but it's similar. Like what you said, they don't expect people to hang out very long. Like I remember they gave me till lunch. I lasted longer than that, of course, but yeah, people were just talking about others that had come on, thinking like, oh, he'll quit by mid morning and things like that. So, but yeah, when this movie was made, absolutely, I think it may have been starting to kind of, they were thinking these would be great jobs because in the past they were, and so that was what they wanted. But it may not have been the case. But still, yeah, these were for the benefit of guys, dudes that owned companies that were about to get in trouble if they didn't hire like someone who's black or someone who's a woman.
Right. But yeah, it seems so ironic. Watch, with the hindsight in effect, it's like, oh, that's not a good road, is it? Although I don't know, if you did have a nice contract in 1979, I guess you'd be able to keep it for a little while. So,
Well, now it's Amazon, and Amazon doesn't want anybody around a long time because they feel that you will be less motivated and you'll care less about the job the longer you're there.
mm. Yeah, I do keep getting the junk mail like Amazon is hiring. Everyone's supposed to work for Amazon now.
Yeah, no, Amazon will be firing in 6 months from the people that they hire. Yeah, there's a high turnover because of that.
Here's my prediction for 10 years in the future for America. Everyone will work at McDonald's, Walmart, or Amazon on six-month cycles. So over a year and a half, you'll work for all three companies. Everyone switches every 6 months.
So why not a woman?
Yeah.
Why would it matter? I don't know. I always had women teachers also, and mostly black women teachers. So
yeah, that's Atlanta.
It's just funny to look at that mentality, the way things were back then, because you'd have to figure the way things were in Pittsburgh there would be, a decent representation of where it would be almost anywhere else. You were getting old crackers, old racists, and old misogynists and old sexists who ran these companies for decades. And they were like, do I have to? Yes, you have to. See?
Did you have mostly female teachers in high school?
Yeah.
Oh, I did. Okay. So I had a kind of a pivot point, I think, at maybe the 7th or 8th grade, where I started pivoting to more male teachers.
So. In 7th, I did have more male teachers, but it was still like black men teachers. Yeah, I mean, seldom did I have a. Yeah. So maybe that was Atlanta, but there was never a question of like, because I think teacher is still like was still those traditionally accepted women jobs. Yeah, here, I don't know. Did it seem like awkward in any way? Like the people that were making the movie were like, look, man, she shouldn't be doing this. We all know that. Look at this. We're capturing this moment where clearly a man could lift this, or clearly a man could operate this better.
I made a little joke about it, but I think that might have actually been trying to do this with the movie, where most of the women seemed a lot more like attractive on the factory floor than in the off work interviews.
Oh God, what is that? But that's possible, right? Because they've got all the safety gear on and stuff, and then it shows them outside. Yeah, the one that was talking about she was divorced and had 3 kids to take care of, or something like that. She had kind of like silver length brown hair. Yeah, I remember.
I guess the Rosie Riveter vibe. I guess that's got to be someone's fetish.
Did you ever experience like sexism at the workplace on the part of like, male colleagues making fun of the women workers, or anything like that, or saying things?
Well, I work with a group of foreign teachers, and I don't think we've ever said it, but I think there's sort of an unspoken, like, if there's been a long period of time when it was just an all male team and we have a new female teacher, it's like, tone it down a bit. The last, the one that's with us now, she turned out to be like sarcastic as hell anyway, but yeah, I mean, in a fun way,
Yeah, because that's still that's a big part of the training now too, for management and even just colleagues, is the kind of stuff it's always in the examples, because we watch old educational films, but I've seen a lot of new ones, like when it comes to like workplace stuff. They have a lot of instances where they'll show like the dramatization of like, what shouldn't dude be saying to this lady, and like just making shitty jokes. But when the thing that I've witnessed is woman coworker walks through the room, says what's up, maybe not, soon as she's out of earshot, men start saying like really, really off color, gross shit about her.
Okay, I've not experienced that situation. I'm talking more about like just like letting, you know, F bombs rip, you know, that sort of thing.
Oh, okay. No, I've heard like, yeah, sexist talk about that. I mean, not lately, obviously. This was probably at the most recent, like maybe 10 or 11 years ago. But I can remember distinctly going like, y'all gonna have to give me $1 every time I hear you say this shit.
No, the closest thing I came was someone admitting to me once of the night before that they'd had a dirty dream involving the math teacher.
Oh man.
So but that's, you know, it's not like he scheduled that dream or anything, right? So
what job did my mom had? I remember her working for Service Merchandise in the warehouse. I also remember her working at a grocery store on the floor or on the register, and also at Target on the register. Now these were, you know, jobs that that male and female had. What was it that your mom did? Like I remember there was something about greeting cards at one point, and then there was another thing that had to do with restaurants or shopping.
Yeah, she'd have like two part-time jobs, and one of them was just going to like drugstores and supermarkets and like putting out the stock and, you know, arranging the cars to look nice and changing them out and other stuff. It is, you know, lots of retail-y jobs like that, but not working at the store, but going to the store and, you know, doing work on some section in the store. And the other one was the mystery shopping, so which I don't think really pays. I think it pays in that they pay for your meal sort of thing, like when we did it that one time.
That was so cool. I felt so cool doing that, man, because it was we were at Rafferty's.
Yeah.
The one time I've ever eaten at Rafferty's.
Wait, you're not supposed to say it. It was supposed to be a secret.
We're gonna statute limitations on secret shopping.
We're gonna have the mystery shopper mob on our asses.
I don't even know if that restaurant's still there.
Yeah.
But it was cool though, because I was sitting there thinking like, what are you supposed to do? Like, how do you secretly shop? You know?
Did we get someone fired?
There's no way.
No, I don't. I don't think we said anything bad in the write-up. So
yeah. But you had to report back, right?
Yeah. But I don't remember having to tell them anything particularly horrible. So
Rafferty, or like rats all over these.
Yeah, right. Of course, that'd be the food. No, it's more like the you know, the waiter like kicked me in the head or something.
Oh, okay. Oh man, we should have gotten him more pissed.
You want a refill? Take a refill of my fist.
Can you get me anything else? Yeah, your eye on my knuckle, fool.
That'd be a cool restaurant. I heard about this idea on another podcast. So, but someone was talking about the idea of the shredstrant, where I think they even said they got it from a different place. But yeah, the idea that it's like the Hard Rock Cafe, but the guitars aren't on the walls; they're in the hands of the waiters, and it's like, I'd like a double cheeseburger, please. Oh, double cheeseburger. And you know, the chef hears it in the back and knows to make the cheeseburger.
Yeah, I was thinking I thought it meant like the customer has the option of paying or ripping a solo, and you would get money off or a free meal depending on how rad your solo was.
That's the weekend promotion. But no, there's no paper or no orders are taken down. It only riffs are played.
Yeah, it's like, okay, for the party of 10, this is either going to be $223 or eruption.
That's a mountain to climb. Okay.
I'd just be like, eruptions, what's going to happen is if I don't get out of this restaurant, because your food is a gut grenade.
Come on,
more
time. You just got to throw your fingers fast enough. do that tapping stuff. Good to go.
Never. No, I don't even understand what that was. I would look at it and go like, no.
I was playing a few weeks ago and I couldn't stop making, every time I bent the string, it would go into like a pitch harmonic, which I remember we could never get to do that. Now I couldn't get to stop doing that.
Yeah, it really depends on where your hand is on the pick and all that other stuff. But
No, we had
Yes.
the music lesson for that was the topic for my 5 and 6-year-old class. So I just brought one of my guitars to the school and I'd play because I'd bring out like Ampamon tambourines and stuff for them, and they'd do that, and I'd sit there playing, and the class all boys they wanted me to shred. So yeah, of course I did.
Oh, cool. Oh man. Well, I do know that there is a woman guitar player now called Her, and people are saying like she's like the second coming of Prince because of how good she is on guitar. And I thought, well, how cool, because we're talking about when we were growing up. Speaking of sexism and stuff, Guitar Magazine would always have a dude on it, unless it was a bikini model with a guitar. There are rarely like women guitar players on the fronts of these guitar magazines.
Lita Ford made it a few times, but she might have been in a bikini.
Only one. She was the.
I don't remember seeing Joan Jett on a guitar cover.
No, she was never known as a lead player.
Yeah, I guess that's why. But I mean, she's still someone that you expect to see a guitar on.
She plays guitar, and I would have wanted to know what she used, and all of that
Find
stuff.
that out pretty easily now.
Yeah. Oh, the one I watch is the one where they interview the roadies or the guitar technicians for specific bands, where you get to see like close up which pedals they use and what the settings are and stuff.
Yeah. As the years go by, I do start thinking it would be nice to have someone just to tweak this part or switch out this part, because I'm never going to do it on my own.
Yeah. No, it's cool. You see like exactly how involved some of these people's jobs are, and you're like, man.
I think my Les Paul is actually missing a tiny spring, which I don't know. It doesn't seem important because it still seems to play well. So, but
I could tell you probably one of two places where it came from. So no, it won't matter. But those things are important.
Yeah. So that's where God bless them roadies, I guess.
Yes, and they could be woman roadies and man roadies. Why not a woman?
That's right. I mean, you're just you're tweaking equipment.
That's right. Oh, when you say it like that.
Yeah. Sorry. As soon as I said it, I was like, it seems like I'm making an inappropriate joke, but I'm not even quite sure how.
Yeah. John Entwistle always required his equipment to be tweaked before he went on stage. Usually that was the job of Bob the roadie.
I did wonder if, I mean, even though it's a small, not like Hollywood level, I feel like factories probably did have casting couches here and there.
I mean, it
had
must
to happen.
Yeah, it had to have. Oh man, it's like, so where'd you learn to lay pipe?
Yeah. So I this film, but yeah, that would be like the dark side where the guy's like, oh, okay, I'm gonna hire some women now, and I'm gonna be a lecturous terror. I mean, that's even though this film might be opening some doors, and it should, and some people are gonna piss all over that door, right? So.
Oh no, absolutely no. You got to figure some had the liquor cabinet ready, and they're like, so you went to engineering school. Could you take your top off?
We're laughing at them. We're assholes.
It's funny because it's true. You laugh to keep from crying.
Yeah, basically. But hopefully for our giggling at that particular joke, you can give them the place to go where you have different things, which hopefully will giggle at some of that too, but in a different way.
Yeah, Gonzoriffic.com, Gonzoriffic. My friends and I make movies, very funny, like horror and comedy, and just very weird experimental stuff. And that is, you can get DVDs like Ariella Jones and the Home Video Vixens, Bad Girl Dracula, or Space Boobs in Space.
There we go. Why not a woman in your films?
Yeah. Why are they? Who are they? Why are they?
Mm-hmm. So I guess we'll just leave you with that question today.
Okay.
I'm giving it to you because you had all the gesticulation to go with the with that question.
Oh, I don't know. I mean, what do we want to ask?
Why not a woman?
Why not a woman?
Why not?
Yeah. Why not? Yeah. I don't know if it was meant to be answered, quite honestly. I mean, because what could you say? Why not a woman? Well, because I'm untold.
It was supposed to be discussed after the film ends. You're supposed to
Oh
discuss the
yeah.
question.
Uh,
So
I mean, the only thing that I could see some say is things that I've heard people say, which is they can't lift stuff as well as a man can lift stuff. But if you want people to work smarter, not harder, I don't think that applies.
yeah, there are forklifts and things too. So
Exactly, and pallets and all that other stuff.
why
Well,
not a woman?
that's right. Your argument is invalid.